Law enforcement: how to communicate with the deaf using advancing technologies.
Advancing technologies are helping law enforcement across the country ensure effective communication with individuals who are deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf-blind. These new technologies assist law enforcement personnel with conducting investigations, gathering information, responding to calls, and supporting deaf victims. Video remote interpreting, VRI, videophone, VP, video relay services, VRS, and FaceTime interpreting, FT, are examples of advancing technologies that are assisting law enforcement in meeting the regulations of the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ, as well as with the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA.
Through these advancing technologies, law enforcement can now provide reasonable accommodations or modifications for equal access and equal effective services that ensure all citizens covered by the ADA understand and have the ability to communicate their circumstances and situations effectively. Under the ADA and its regulations, law enforcement agencies must consult with the deaf or hard of hearing individual about the choice of auxiliary aid or service that would assist in effective communication. Law enforcement must give primary consideration to the accommodation requested by the individual who is deaf or hard of hearing.
For people who communicate primarily by American Sign Language, ASL, qualified interpreters are a critical link to the hearing world. For people who do not communicate primarily by ASL, there are mobile apps available using voice recognition software, such as Talk to Text, where you speak into your phone, and the words are transcribed on the screen of the device. Text-to-speech and speech synthesis are also available. Additionally, art voice recognition technology, such as Caption Telephone, CapTel, captions everything your caller says. Some individuals are comfortable with using text, SMS, MMS tools, or a note application on their phone, rather than using pen and paper. For too long, accessibility has been an afterthought for the main mobile tech companies. However, many are now offering real-time language interpretation, which is a tremendous development that has been long overdue. Available technologies such as video remote interpreting, VRI, videophone, VP, and FaceTime interpreting, FT, are considered auxiliary aids and services that are necessary requests of the individual who is deaf or hard of hearing. These advances have made it possible to bring greater access to interpreting when and where it is needed. We hope that these advancing technologies will promote commitment by law enforcement to improve interpreting practices in their communities. For more information, you may contact your nearest Center for Independent Living. Available technologies include video remote interpreting, VRI,
Video Remote Interpreting, VRI, is a fee-based interpreting service conveyed via video conferencing where at least one person, typically the interpreter, is at a separate location. As a fee-based service, VRI may be arranged through service contract, rate plans based on per minute or per hour fees, or charges based on individual usage. VRI can be provided as on-demand service and/or by appointment. You can set up an account with the interpreting service. This can be used on a larger visual screen such as a laptop, tablet, or TV monitor. You can contact the Center for Independent Living for more information. Video remote interpreting is currently used in a variety of settings and provides communication access for situations with an immediate need for interpreters. In addition, it meets interpreting demands when qualified on-site interpreters are not available, especially in rural areas.
And yes, VRI can reduce interpreting costs through fee structures and elimination of travel and mileage costs. Successful VRI uses qualified sign language interpreters who have linguistic competence, are experienced in settings for which they will work, and adhere to professional interpreting standards. It is imperative for law enforcement to be familiar with the equipment and video conferencing protocols, effective environmental controls, and compatibility of technical setup and connectivity.
VRI may not be appropriate for situations involving individuals with a secondary disability, for example, low vision, that impedes their ability to utilize the technology. Similarly, VRI may not be appropriate for involving communications of a sensitive nature or condition of the individual, such as a child, cognitive limitation, highly emotional, or persons with violent tendencies. Injury that impedes their ability to view the screen, or the individual is heavily medicated or intoxicated.
Video phone, VP.
Video phone is a two-way video communication system employing a video phone at each end. The video phone incorporates a personal video camera and display, a microphone and speaker, and a data conversion device. It is a video camera that simultaneously transmits and receives both audio and video signals through high-speed internet. Oftentimes, the police do not understand when a deaf person requests a video phone. That could mean they need to call their family member or someone such as a lawyer, social worker, or others they wish to contact.
Video Relay Services, VRS.
Video Relay Services, VRS, is a 24-hour service paid for by the government's Telecommunications Relay Service, TRS, fund. VRS empowers a deaf person to place and receive calls with a professional American Sign Language, ASL, interpreter via a video phone or other compatible device and a high-speed internet connection. Through a high-speed internet connection, a deaf or hard of hearing individuals using a video phone, PC, Mac, tablet, or mobile device place VRS calls that are routed to a VRS interpreting center. The deaf individual signs to the interpreter, who then calls the hearing user via a standard phone line and relays the conversation between the two parties. A request for a video phone, or VP, is considered a standard phone call for a visual communication method.
FaceTime Interpreting, FT.
Here I am to explain VRI. There is FaceTime interpreting, and Apple products such as iPhone, iMac, iPad, etc. They have FaceTime apps. Apple's FaceTime ASL video interpreting service, VRI. This technology uses FaceTime to connect individuals nationwide who are deaf and hard of hearing for a service up to 30 minutes. This technology is rather new, like community or on-site interpreting for deaf citizens. Therefore, it is critical that law enforcement understand what VRI and FaceTime ASL are and how they function, and the benefits of utilizing them. With this service, any person can submit a form to FaceTime Interpreting, such as Coda Brothers, and set up an account. This service can be paid for by the individual or by the organization.
Additionally, there are other mobile apps for communication besides video interpreting services, including voice recognition converting to captioning. These alternative applications can be utilized by someone who prefers reading.
Produced by Illinois Statewide Deaf Services Coordinator.